Number 22 is one of the questions that I like the most. We are going to divide the polynomials. Here we have 4x squared plus 5x plus 4 on the top over x plus 3. And we're going to use long division for this. So put the top inside and the x plus 3, the bottom, on the outside. Alright? And now this is how we're going to figure out what do we need. So in order to figure out what goes on the top, right here, the answer part, you're just going to consider the first part only. So I'm going to cover everything else. Alright? So what you need to do is you have to ask yourself, what times x will give you 4x squared? And the answer for that is 4x. Because if I put the 4x right here, 4x times x will be 4x squared. And that's the most important thing. You want to cancel out whatever you have on the first leading term. Alright? And now let me bring back the original problem. So I figured it out. I need a 4x here. And notice that I line up with the x part right here. So what I did was 4x times x, which is 4x squared. I also have to multiply 4x times 3, and that will be plus 12x. Okay? And for division, you always subtract, and be really careful with subtraction here. Put a subtraction and the parentheses, and now we're going to figure out what the answer will be. On the first part, 4x squared minus 4x squared, that's 0. The first part should always cancel out. If not, you need to pick something else. For the second part, we have 5x minus 12x, and that will result as a negative 7x. Alright? And now I'm going to bring down the plus 4 right here. And to continue with the rest, once again, you should just cover up this, cover up that. You have to ask yourself, in order to get negative 7x, what times x will be negative 7x? And the answer to that is, I will need to have a negative 7. Figure this out first, and then you take negative 7, multiply with x, which will be negative 7x. Once again, these two should be exactly the same. And then you also have to take negative 7 times positive 3. That will be negative 21, which will go right here. And now once again, when you are doing division, you are going to subtract the result. And let's see what do we have. Negative 7x minus negative 7x, that will be 0. And here is 4 minus negative 21. In another word, 4 plus 21. And the result for that is going to be positive 25. Alright? And this is pretty much it. This is done. On the top, this is what the quotient is. This is what we call the quotient. Right, the quotient. And on the denominator, on the bottom right here, this part, this number here is the remainder. Right? And another way to write down the answer is, let me just show you guys. Another way to write down the answer is this. You write down the quotient first, which is 4x minus 7. And then you look at your remainder, and the remainder is positive 25. So you're going to add, you put 25 on the top, and you put that over this, the original denominator, which is x plus 3. So that's it. Once again, the red part, this is the quotient, and the 25 is the remainder.